Welcome to Crystal Palace. This is the second race of the 1953 HSO season. This time around we did 4 short sprint races, one for each class, and determined the respective class winners. The event was started by the 1500cc class, which consisted of several Porsches and Oscars competing for the victory. The first laps have been led by Matt Wright and Rhys Gardner, our 2 fellow Aussies. But Rhys unfortunately had a racing incident with 2 other cars somewhere halfway through the race, and this put him out of contention for a podium finish. Matt continued to dominate the race and finished ahead of Tom D and Matthias Estrella. So with maximum points being picked up, he now leads the 1500cc class by 4 points over Matthias. Next up was the 3-liter race, my main category, where I finished second in qualifying behind Rhys Gardner and ahead of Darren Andrews. I tried to outsmart Rhys in the beginning with a second gear start, but he unfortunately had the same idea, so no position to be gained in the first corner. I had some issues with very light force feedback in the beginning and tried to reset force feedback twice, but it didn't really help. Of course, that's the main excuse why I couldn't really put a lot of pressure onto Rhys. But yeah, Rhys was on an excellent pace here, not much to be done against him. So overall very good performance by him, and later on I had a few issues with internet connectivity, making me jump around for others, making Rhys swerve a bit for me. I also had a synchronization event of rF2 and then lost a second in the process. So after that it was not possible anymore to really be a threat. After 10 laps I was still around 2 seconds behind Rhys, had to avoid one other car at the end, and then finished in a very good second, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, Rhys ahead of me, Darren, Frank, Jonathan and Mark are the top 6 picking up the points. Rhys and Darren probably are my main contenders for the overall championship in the 3-liter class, so it will be interesting to see how it all plays out in the long run. So far I am in the lead, 3 points ahead of Rhys and 13 ahead of Darren. Darren will be stronger at the end of the season with many fast tracks coming up, so it will be an exciting season. Next up was the 2-liter race, where I drove a Maserati A6GCS and I qualified in first ahead of Evan and Mark, also driving Maseratis, so they are the ones to beat here. I had a good start, again second gear, and got away, and from there on I was under pressure by Evan definitely, but there was never really a chance to overtake, so it was a pretty uneventful race for me. I didn't really notice that I again had internet connectivity issues, and Evan had to, or couldn't really attack, so I'm sorry for that. So that was it then. I took the victory ahead of Erwan and Frank, then Isidoro in the Bristol, David in the Bristol and Karel in the Gordini. Overall this means that Erwan is in the lead. I take second place, but this will be my only finish probably within the 2-liter class within this year, as I will only focus on the 3 liters. Next one up and last one for the day is the 3-liter plus race, led by Tom D in the Lancia, ahead of 2 Ferraris, one by Robin de Vos and one by Niklas Kirsten, and they have been followed by Nicolas Hillebrand in the Lagonda and Isidoro in the Jaguar. The race overall was very clean. Tom D managed to hold on to the lead just ahead of Niklas Kirsten and Nicolas Hillebrand. Robin de Vos unfortunately spun in between, so only ended up in 4th ahead of Isidoro and Erwan in the Talbot. Overall that means that Tom D is in a very comfortable lead ahead of Nicolas, Rob de Vries and Niklas. In the Gold Star standings, so the overall standings across all classes, I'm now in 2nd, 3 points behind Tom D. I hope he will not make full points all of the time. But overall, yeah, I'm very happy with where I am, and I'm looking forward to next race, which will not be in Germany as indicated here, but in Monte Carlo. There were some issues on the track in Germany, so we will head to Monaco and go for a swim in the harbor.